Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating intersection of consumer psychology and brand manipulation. If this deep dive into the human mind and consumer behavior sounds like your kind of content, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe right now. Your early support truly helps me research and produce these in-depth explorations every single week. So thank you in advance for helping this community grow. Now that the housekeeping is done, let's immediately step into the world where perceived value outweighs actual utility. The world of luxury. Think about stepping into an exclusive boutique where the air is subtly scented and the ambient music perfectly sets a sophisticated tone. You see a beautifully crafted leather item priced at $5,000, which objectively is just a container for your belongings. Meanwhile, a perfectly functional $50 bag accomplishes the identical primary task of holding your essentials. Yet, nobody lines up for that one. People willingly endure months, long waiting lists, and happily pay that hundredfold premium. Because this behavior is absolutely not irrational. This phenomenon is pure applied psychology. It is the mastery of the human mind by the world's most powerful premium brands. Today, we are meticulously dissecting the precise mechanisms these brands employ to influence your purchasing decisions and why you remain so remarkably susceptible to them. Fundamentally, luxury is rarely about the actual product itself. It is entirely built upon the narrative of status and personal identity. These companies successfully sell you the potent emotional feeling of inherent superiority, rarity, and membership in a truly exclusive circle. When someone acquires a signature luxury timepiece, they are not merely purchasing an instrument for tracking sequential minutes. They are buying into the deeply ingrained story that their achieved success validates their ability to afford that specific mark of achievement. You are purchasing a tangible symbol of your personal status, and critically, a piece of that desired identity you wish to project to the world. The essential point here is that premium pricing's effectiveness stems not from objective product superiority, but from the customer's powerful subjective perception of that superiority. Neuroscience offers undeniable proof that when we observe a significantly high price, our brains immediately recategorize the associated product as inherently higher quality. The sheer numerical value on the tag literally alters neural processing and fundamentally changes the subjective experience of the item itself. Luxury purveyors expertly wield the principle of scarcity, deploying limited editions, restricted access, and notoriously long reservation queues, like strategic weaponry. When an object becomes difficult to obtain, our ingrained human perception immediately elevates its perceived worth and desirability to incredible heights. From an evolutionary standpoint, anything commonly available in our ancestral past held little value, whereas rare resources signaled vital importance and scarcity. These exclusive fashion houses deliberately throttle production volumes, refusing to meet the obvious demand to maintain that coveted aura of exclusivity. That famously long waiting list is not an inefficiency. It is a meticulously calculated, manufactured scarcity designed to drive intense desire. This manufactured difficulty makes the eventual acquisition feel like a monumental personal triumph, proving one's worthiness to the owner. The underlying psychological feedback loop confirms that the intense effort expended directly validates the item's presumed incredible intrinsic value. Premium brands strategically deploy specific psychological pricing tactics that prey upon the inherent shortcuts our brains automatically employ to make decisions. Firstly, we rely on the price-quality heuristic, where we substitute a high price tag as undeniable evidence that the product must inherently possess superior craftsmanship. This is especially true for luxury goods, where the actual qualitative differences between options often remain completely imperceptible to the average consumer. Your brain processes that larger number not as cost, but as definitive proof that the item operates on a fundamentally higher plane of quality. Secondly, they employ prestige pricing, competing not on affordability, but fiercely on absolute unyielding exclusivity to guard their elite status. Reducing the price to attract more buyers would catastrophically dilute the brand equity, so the elevated cost functions as the primary filter for entry. Thirdly, the anchoring effect is utilized when a brand shows you an initial, much higher price before revealing the slightly lower actual purchase price. Your subconscious mind anchors to that initial, higher figure, making the subsequent price, even if still high, feel like a significant and immediate financial win. Fourth, the decoy effect introduces a deliberately inferior, high-priced option to make the target luxury item appear, comparatively, like an absolute bargain. This mediocre decoy rarely sells, but its presence skillfully shifts your perception, making the main offering feel like the only logical choice available. Finally, Prestige is cemented through genuine exclusivity tactics, like invite-only events or membership tiers, which are psychological tools, not just business hurdles. These barriers actively transform the act of purchase into an act of gaining entry, making the customer feel like they have earned their way into a privileged society. What luxury brands fundamentally understand is that most high-value acquisitions are not made for the self, but are entirely intended for public observation. We seek luxury items because we desire the non-verbal communication they send to others, explicitly announcing our financial success and elevated standing. The craving is for respect, for admiration, and for that visible confirmation that we have attained a desired level within the social hierarchy. These companies have masterfully monetized this very human need by ensuring their identifying logos and brand names are impossible for others to miss. They deploy celebrity ambassadors and social media influencers with surgical precision, linking their product directly to peak success, beauty, and undeniable power. When someone you deeply admire openly associates with a brand, you immediately begin to equate ownership of that product with achieving similar levels of success. Social proof is arguably the most potent psychological lever, as we instinctively look to the behavior of others to validate our own uncertain choices. The more exclusive the brand appears to be within that successful sphere, the more intensely we desire ownership as proof of our inclusion in the in-group. Here is the critical, darker implication of this successful psychological engineering. It fuels what is known as aspirational consumer spending. People begin acquiring luxury goods they demonstrably cannot afford simply to project a status they have not yet actually achieved in their real lives. This constant performance invariably leads to accumulating personal debt and generating significant underlying financial anxiety for the consumer. This creates a profound cognitive dissonance as your internal reality clashes violently with the external, highly curated financial image you are desperately trying to maintain. Luxury marketers are acutely aware of this mechanism, but their primary business directive is generating want, not ensuring your long-term fiscal responsibility. The inherent psychology being exploited here is deeply primal, our fundamental human need for belonging and visible social recognition. So, what is the practical takeaway now that you are armed with this sophisticated knowledge of their psychological toolkit? Understanding these powerful tactics does not automatically mean you must forever abstain from purchasing any item associated with luxury or premium branding. Instead, it empowers you to make a truly conscious choice, buying something only because you genuinely cherish the object or the unique experience it provides. You must ask yourself a difficult, honest question. Am I purchasing this because I deeply love the product's inherent qualities, or purely to solicit envy from observers? Furthermore, are you acquiring this item comfortably within your established financial boundaries, or are you stretching them to project an inaccurate, artificial persona? If you can answer with complete honesty that your purchase aligns with your values and your budget, then by all means, enjoy that item thoroughly. The critical difference is maintaining unwavering awareness of the psychological forces that were working to influence your decision every step of the way. Because that very awareness, that sharp consciousness, is ultimately the most potent and effective antidote against any form of unconscious manipulation. The entire ecosystem of luxury branding is truly a marvel of psychological engineering, both incredibly brilliant in its execution and slightly terrifying in its pervasive reach. It serves as a constant, humbling reminder of precisely how much our daily decisions are governed by emotion and instinct rather than detached, pure logic. But possessing this valuable knowledge fundamentally changes the game, granting you an active choice where there was previously only an unconscious reaction. Thank you profoundly for joining me for this deep exploration into the captivating science behind high-end consumer desire. If any of these insights resonated with your own shopping habits, please hit the like button one more time to show your appreciation for the content. Now, take a moment to drop a comment below and let me know which brand you feel executes this psychological manipulation most effectively. Or perhaps a purchase you now regret. And please, subscribe so you don't miss future deep dives into consumer behavior, cognitive biases, and how the world actually operates behind the scenes. I release new videos every single week, so make sure that notification bell is on, and I genuinely look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everybody.